It's Elisa, Half Asian Tarot Queen, and back doing another reading. I'm working on I'm gonna do another promotion for May, and there was a couple of like little glitchy issues with the last one, so I'm thinking on how to do that a little bit more functionally than I did last month, but we'll get back to you on that in the next couple of days. But yeah, that last full moon was a real humdinger, and there was a lot of energy with that, and so yeah, there's obviously been a lot of shifting and interesting. We haven't checked in for a while with the storyline of the Divine Feminine, so I thought, maybe today might be a good day to do that. I've got this new deck called Goddess Power, and I'm going to pick one card from that for an overall energies. I just picked two cards from the Mystical Shaman Oracle, which, if you've watched this channel before, you know that it might be my favorite deck. I use that one quite a lot. And yeah, so we're going to pick one goddess card, and then we'll go from there. But if you are new to the channel, you might know that the videos on the channel are arranged not according to zodiac sign, but according to storylines. So it's kind of like a daytime soap opera where there's these recurring storylines that kind of come and go, and they're always evolving. And so I thread them together in playlists. And one of the storylines that that comes up quite a lot is the story of the Divine Feminine. Okay, so from the Mystical Shaman we get the Arrow. So this is really interesting because this card has come up a lot in the last several months. It's been a recurring card for sure. But this is a card of being in alignment with the universe, and your chakras are in alignment. You're in alignment with your destiny and the universe. And when you're in alignment, when you set an intention and you pull your bow and release your arrow, it's going to hit its mark because you're in alignment with the universe, and it's going to support my mom. Okay, so there was a little break in the action there. I am taking care of someone who has dementia, so sometimes you just have to like drop everything and go on an adventure. So that's what just happened. Anyway, so the arrow, when you're in alignment, you pull your bow, you release your arrow, and it's going to hit its mark because you have all the power of the universe behind you. So your intention is in alignment, and it's going to hit its mark. And then we have the Andean cross. So this is really interesting because it's like you can see it shows the 4 cardinal directions. So this has like, this is a shamanic symbolism, but then there's a hole, which is kind of like a portal to another dimension, really. So it's just sort of like you come into a higher state of awareness. The book talks about this being a portal to interdimensional travel. So it's like you come into this higher state of awareness, and it's like you kind of like break the shackles that have been like holding you in whatever reality you've been inhabiting. You break free of that, and then you step into a new stage of life or a new stage of awareness, but it changes. It's like you're walking into another stage of life. And then we have Benzai Ten. So she's a Japanese goddess. For me, this is particularly appropriate because I'm half Japanese, and so she's a goddess of beauty. And in the book it talks about you're most beautiful when you're yourself, when you're in alignment with who you are, And then it talks about just being in awareness of all the beauty that's around you, because there's everything's is around you, supporting you, you know, when you have this alignment. And then, you know, just to be aware of that and walk through this, because it's all there for you. You know, everything's there for you. And just a reminder of that. You're yourself, you're in alignment with your destiny, and everything that's around you. If you're open to it, if you're open to the wonder and the beauty around you, then this is going to support, you know, your journey. So it's a really beautiful message, because it's just talking about, like, when you've kind of like cleared all of your own internal obstacles and you come into alignment with all that is, you know, beautiful things unfold. I'm going to go to Ethereal Visions to pull some overall energies for this reading, but it's just like, yeah, it's like the Divine Feminine has, like, gone through all these different conflicts and turmoils, and has been, you know, walking through a lot of difficult, adverse situations, you know, in the storyline leading up to now. But it's like she's kind of like come into her own, or come into her power. And so this is beautiful. Okay. All right. Wow. Oh my gosh. The cards that came out really support kind of what I just said. So we have the Chariot, which is all a card about coming into your power and being in control of your destiny. You know, it's like when you come into your power and you realize that you are in alignment with everything that is, and so that you are empowered. And then we have the Page of Wands, which is a new spark. It's a new way of seeing things, you know. It's just sort of like you've walked through this portal, you've come into this awareness, and you now are in alignment. And then we have the High Priestess. So this is a card of manifestation, and it is a card of being in alignment. The High Priestess is very intuitive, so she's in alignment with the universe and all that is, and, you know, she's very powerful in the spiritual realm. And then we have Judgment. So this is a reckoning, you know. So it's just almost like this High Priestess, she, you know, she's got a new spark, a new perspective. She's realized her power, and she has realized that her power comes from being in alignment with herself and with the universe. And then when you are, like, everything unfolds around you according to your intention. Like, you have that power. Like, this reckoning is here. So it's just like, wow, you know, this is like amazing. It's like the Divine Feminine's like really stepping into her power. I'm going to the Radiant Wise Spirit to just pull some general energies. Oh my gosh. So at the bottom of this deck, we have the Empress. So, you know, this is giving birth to a new vision or a new life, but it's also just, you know, the Empress is like the queen of all queens. I mean, she's beautiful. She gives birth to a new life, you know, it could be a new project, it could be a new human being, it could be, you know, but she's powerful, you know, she's the Empress. All right, I'm going to pull some general energies, but it seems like, oh my gosh, this Divine Feminine is, she's gone through all this toil, you know, and, you know, she's been catching a lot of wind from this karmic who's kind of been out to get her for a while. But it's like, it's almost like she's just sort of like come into her power and like stepped above all of that. Okay, so for the general energies, we got the Three of Swords, we got the Lovers, and we have the Ten of Wands. So yeah, this is interesting because this is, well, the Three of Swords is a card of heartbreak, you know, and a card of loss. And this is flanked by the Lovers. So this is like a deep, deep soul connection, you know, and it's like your divine partner. And so this, for some time, this divine feminine in the threads has been in a state of separation from her divine masculine. So, you know, there's heartbreak and loss there. So the divine masculine has been, you know, with some karmic partner situation. But interestingly, we have the Ten of Wands here. So it's just like the divine feminine has been suffering, you know, because she's been separated, and it's been like a heartbreaking situation for her, but she's putting the burdens of this situation down. So I'm going to keep going with the other cards to see where this is going, because it's just like, what does that mean? Does that mean that has moved on? She's letting go? Like, either way, like, she's not feeling heartbroken about it anymore. Like, she's put that down. And then we have the Magician, the Nine of Swords, and we have the Ten of Pentacles. So this is interesting because we have a card of manifestation, you know, there's like, and this is falling right over this new perspective, this new spark, you know, over this heartbreak. You know, she's been kind of stuck in this heartbreak for a while, but like now she's manifesting something out of this, you know. It's just sort of like, you know, they talk about heartbreak and loss is like also this huge source of creativity if you can channel that energy in the appropriate way. Like, for example, you know, songwriters will take their pain and they'll like create something out of it, you know, and so they'll channel that into something beautiful, you know. So she's taken this heartbreak and then you use this as fuel to create something new, you know. And then we have this High Priestess, which is another card of manifestation. Like, both of these cards are manifestation cards. So she's manifested something from this deep connection, you know. It's just sort of like, it was heartbreaking for her. Like, she had all this anxiety and fear and loss, you know, over the heartbreak of this situation, but she's manifested something out of it, you know. She's kind of transformed that situation. And then we have this Ten of Pentacles, which this is like a card of dynasty, of generational wealth, of just like, you know, you've built something really solid that can last for generations. Like, she's built a solid foundation. So it's just like, out of the ashes of this heartbreak and loss that she's suffered, she's just put that down and she's kind of stepped into her abundance, which is really interesting. So it's just like, I don't know if this divine feminine is just sort of like gone off on her own and like created her own empire, or I'm going to pull some more cards from Ethereal Vision to get some guidance on how this divine feminine is going to move forward. But it's almost like she's just like, I don't need this mess. I'm going to go on and like, she's gone on and like created her own empire, and she's like channeled all that loss and heartbreak, and she's like balanced her mind. She's put down the burden of that loss, and now like her karma is that she's got this ultimate abundance from like letting go of that, you know. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, I'm not really sure where the divine masculine falls in all of this. This is interesting. Oh my gosh, that card, like this. Okay, I'm gonna pull one more card before oh my gosh. Okay, so at the bottom we have the Six of Pentacles, which is a card of giving and receiving, and a card of balance, you know. a card of restoring balance. Then we have the Artist, you know, which this is also a card of manifestation. It's just being able to create something out of nothing, you know. So it's just sort of like, and this fell on top of this heartbreak and this new spark and this Magician card. So it's just like she's taken this situation of heartbreak and loss and nothing, and she's like dug into the well, and she's pulled out this, you know, she wrote a song, you know, and it went gold, you know. She created something out of that. And then we have the Star, which this was at the bottom of the deck, and I like kept shuffling it, and then this ended up being the card that came out. But this is a card also of manifestation and of healing and of your wishes coming true, you know. So it's just sort of like she healed whatever wound was inside of her. She went through the portal and she manifested something positive out of this loss, you know. And so now she's being healed. She's been healed from this loss, and now her wishes are coming true. Wow. And then on top of this, you know, there's this reckoning that's happening. She's putting this burden down. You know, she's walked away from that burden, and like now she's stepping into this ultimate abundance. And then we get justice. Like, this is a just situation, you know, whatever it was that happened. Like she never deserved it. She just, you know, she just rose above it, focused on herself. You know, she didn't focus on lashing out at the people who were like, you know, being unjust. She was like, followed the signs of the universe. She believed in herself, and like now justice is being served, which is like, wow, that's pretty cool. Okay, I'm going to pull a couple more Divine Feminine cards to just finish off the reading. This is a deck called Love Your Inner Goddess by Alana Fairchild, which I really love this deck a lot. So I'm going to pull one card from that, and I'm going to pull one card from this Divine Feminine deck as well. But this is looking pretty good for the Divine Feminine here. It's just like she's finally getting her due, you know, because she really had to walk through a lot of, well, you can follow the Divine Feminine thread on the channel, but she walked through a lot of firestorms. She had a lot of crap dumped on her. And she was graceful, you know, about it, and she rose above the situation, and, you know, she drew inspiration and strength from that. And so now she's, you know, justice is being served. Oh my gosh. So we got Warrior Goddess. That's pretty cool because, so if you've been following my channel for a while, you might know, like, so my true calling in life is that I'm a vegan cheesemaker. Like, that's what I was supposed to do. I got embroiled in this whole conflict with that. There's a whole thread about it called Vegan Cheese Empire. But anyways, I am starting a new channel, which I'll tell you about in future episodes. And it's called Asian Warrior Princess, because I'm an Asian warrior princess. Like, my mom's Asian, my dad was a warrior, and, you know, I'm their daughter. And it's like a health and wellness platform that I'm building. And I just like I'm in the middle of designing the logo for it. So it's funny that we get this Warrior Goddess, because this is very appropriate for my life right now. But I'm going to read you the card from the book. This is not a time to play it safe, nor is it a time to allow another to take the lead in your life. You need to believe in yourself and trust the instincts that are guiding you are correct. If you need to take action, do it. Speak up, say yes, say no. Trust your inner truth completely. Be bold. The universe will answer your boldest actions with affirmation, and you'll move through the consequences of your actions with grace and courage, ending up exactly where you're meant to be. You are ready. Life has been preparing you. Your experiences have made you stronger and wiser. You have spirit and you have courage. Believe in yourself. You are a warrior goddess, empowered divine woman. Trust that your foundations are strong. Put your faith in the universe. It has been your life coach and guide all along, helping you build up your inner resources, encouraging you to realize the power that has always been within you. The universe believes in you. When you feel it is time to take a step, take it with confidence. When you ask for help from the universe, ask with boldness and total confidence that your prayers will be answered in the best possible way. You have the right to require that your personal space be respected. You have divine permission and encouragement to claim your rightful place in the world. You are meant to say no to behavior that is dishonest, manipulative, and bullying. The warrior goddess uses her sacred anger to set a boundary and speak her truth, not to attack another. She uses her inner fire to live with integrity, even if the right choices for her seem hard or frightening at the time. She knows that the universe has her back, and she's willing to be true to herself no matter what. She places integrity above all else. She knows that compromising her self-respect to win a battle will end up losing her the war. Oh my gosh. This is so appropriate right now because I have been in such a battle which was described, and it's like, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's been like a test from the universe, like, I love this deck. Okay, one more card from the Divine Feminine deck to end the reading, but this is really good. It's like the Divine Feminine has fully stepped into her power. She has the universe, the forces of the universe behind her. She's like stepped into a new dimension where she's in her power. Her arrow is hitting the mark, and beauty is unfolding all around her because she's done the work. She's ready. And I'm gonna pull one more card. Not that one. This is really beautiful. Okay, this is it. Rita of Cascia, the patroness of impossible causes. I am miraculous. My prayers create powerful channels of possibility. Wow. All of this happened for a reason. There's a higher destiny here. I'm going to read you the story of Rita of Cascia. This has these stories of all these divine feminines, and their stories are really beautiful and inspiring, I think. So I'll read you her story. And there's obviously an important cause here. Saint Rita of Cascia's life demonstrates the power of prayer to shift even what appears to be an impossible cause. She was born Margherita Lodi in 1381 in Italy to noble parents. She is associated with bees because as a child it is said that they swarmed her but never stung her, and bees are symbolic of Mary. And of the diligent work that must be done to gather honey or the immortal sweetness of Christ's love. Although Rita wanted to enter a convent, she was forced to marry Paolo Mancini and had her first child at age 12. Her husband was a wealthy nobleman who had many enemies. In Cascia, Rita endured abuse and infidelities, but through prayer and kindness, she converted him to Catholicism. He then renounced the family feud known as La Vendetta. Even though Paolo had become a new man, a member of a feuding family murdered him for previous acts. Rita's two sons wanted to avenge their father's death, but before they could, both died of dysentery. After the death of her husband and sons, Rita wanted to enter a monastery of St. Mary Magdalene in Cascia. She was given the condition that her family had to reconcile with the family that killed her husband before she could gain entrance. Rita prayed to the patron saints John the Baptist, Augustine of Hippo, and Nicholas of Tolentino to assist her in creating peace between the two rival families. The bubonic plague was ravaging Italy at the time and happened to take several members of both families. This was enough hardship that they agreed to relinquish the feud. Rita entered the St. Mary Magdalene Monastery at the age of 36. Catholic legend says that she was transported into the monastery by her three patron saints via levitation. And legend also relates that while she was meditating on Christ at age 60, a ray of light pierced her between the eyes. The stigmata remained there until her death of tuberculosis in the monastery in 1457. When you select her card, despite popular belief, Saint Rita isn't about suffering or martyrdom, not in this context. Here, she is about the miracles that happen when we choose to be steadfast about something or someone. This does not mean remaining in a situation that is harmful to us. It means knowing that we can believe anything is possible and that everyone is ultimately forgivable. Because forgiveness isn't about someone else, it's about freeing ourselves. Oh my gosh, this is like so appropriate. We might have to draw fence boundaries and possibly never see that person again, but we can pray from a distance that a light larger than our own transforms them, that a love that's greater than what we alone can hold and have for them might offer them a new life. St. Rita is asking us foremost to never give up what we want for ourselves and suggesting that the path to what we desire is in our belief that it is still possible. We might not know how or when things will align for us, but when we participate in a deep power, a bone trust that at some point what we most desire will arrive. That's really interesting. So it's just reminding you to have faith. And sometimes that means you have to draw boundaries around people that you really care about, you know. But you can still have faith, and you can forgive yourself, and you can forgive them. And it's interesting because I brought up the question of, I wonder whatever happened to the divine masculine, because he just kind of disappeared, you know. And maybe this is speaking to that, you know. It's like the divine masculine is off, and he's having to learn his own lesson. And, you know, maybe that the divine feminine has had to draw boundaries around herself because of that, but she's forgiven him, and she's still sending out, you know, positive intentions for him. But meanwhile, she's building this empire, and she's not worried about it, you know, because she's in her power, and she has the support of the universe behind her. So have faith. Things are going to work out. Check in soon.